I think the competitors have seen what we've done over the past few years, and they have actually started building some of their own depots around the country, but they don't, in terms of number of depots, we still have the most number of depots. And I guess the advantage also is some of the depots that we have, they are direct import terminals. So unlike, kahit na let's say yung Shell and Petron, they start opening depots in the different islands, they would still have to deliver from their main refinery to the depots. But for us, when we import, let's say from Singapore or South Korea or Japan, diretso yun dun sa depot natin. So it's still a big advantage for us.
I do get what you said about the brand, kasi syempre the influence of the Western, the Shell and other brands versus a local brand. It's quite difficult to get through that the message. You were mentioning about the price. Yes, you mentioned it. Your prices are more affordable than others, but in terms of quality, it's basically at par with each other. Do you think that Shell has a bigger mileage now in terms of like margins versus you guys? Maybe that's the reason why your cost is lower, aside from the fact that you have more depots, or they have more room in terms of margins. Business-wise, right?
Actually, in terms of margins,
almost.
I would, pretty much almost the same. Kasi the financials of the oil players are very transparent. You can really see financial statements of the different players. So in terms of margins and profitability, they're pretty much the same. I would say that yes, maybe to a certain extent we can still improve ours, and maybe that's a very good opportunity for us, given that now we've increased our economies of scale with Caltex Australia being a partner.
Does that mean that medyo there's a room pa to go lower? Kasi
in terms of
pricing to the consumers?
I think in terms of lowering the price, it's still market forces.
Okay.
It's still dictated by market forces. Of course, we don't want to be too low din naman, to the extent that people will really think, nako, pangit talaga na fuel nila. Diba? So it's still a balance, and a lot of external forces still coming.
I'll take advantage of the mic now. This entries, does it roll over? Because we have like a draw for September, October, and then twice in November. So, dun sa mga entries who would drop their entries on the first month, September,
will carry over.
Yes. So those who join the first draw would have bigger chances of winning. Because it's spot easy.
Yes.
So if November, mas marami na silang kalakad kasi it rolls over.
That's right.
Alright, one more. You mentioned that there's a traditional and online way to join the contest. Online is free to double your entries. How do you draw? Like,
it's
like from traditional to online.
A randomizer. Si Ray will talk to you about the randomizer.
You digitize all of your traditional Dropbox?
No, there are actually two ways for you to join. First is that you're going to enter the promo code. First, makukuha mo dapat yung additional mo na yung raffle coupon. You double your chances by entering that promo code through online.
Yes.
So we will be giving away 3 winners, or shall we say 3 lifetime winners pag sa online, because the first draw would be online, the second draw would be online, and the third and the final draw would be a combination of the online and the traditional raffle draw. So that means that you double your chances by entering the promo code doon sa lifetimefreegas.com na site.
Okay. So I guess yun lang, ulitin ko lang. September online, October online,
and November, the last one will be a combination of online and the traditional pabunot with the DTI representative.
So those who drop their entries dun sa Dropbox, madadraw lang sila
sa last draw
sa November, which is one winner lang.
Yes.
Kasi dun sa November, ang isa doon online din.
Yes.
Mostly online.
Yes.
Alright.
So we're hoping that sana lahat ng sasali would be really gonna take advantage of the online chance nila of
last one.
Winning.
Yung winners last year, how many of them came from online and traditional?
The 3 winners came from online, and then 1 winner from the traditional.
Same.
Same. So
Sino
same
ba si
mechanic.
traditional?
Traditional is the last one, si Mr. Ulas from Iloilo.
Okay.
From Iloilo. Yes. Sorry.
I'm Joy Manjola from Patients of Joy. My question is, suntok sa buwan ito, but in case, I'm very, very lucky, I want the online and then I want the... Paano yun? Double the life.
No. Actually,
Double lifetime.
Double lifetime, no. Baka susunod na life na yun siguro yung isa. No, you cannot. Actually, DTI rules that you can only win once. Just in case na mag-bigger ka namin ng 10,000 pesos. And then, di ba may monthly draw kami, no? 10,000 pesos, parang you win that. And then you win also the lifetime free gas. Yung pinakamalaking price yung makukuha mo. That's the rule, para to be fair to everyone. Yes.
Hi, good evening. Eli from E-Lifestyle Manila. You mentioned that you had 400 stations already and 10 service ones. How are you competing with the rest of the independent players like Phoenix or Total, who has quite more than you have in terms of gas stations? What's your target maybe by expansion from 400 to 600 or something? Have you already made a forecast of your expansion?
Yes, well, compared to the other independents, so Phoenix is another independent player. Actually, Phoenix, I think they declare about 500 plus, so they have more stations. But in terms of size, because we also are, I would say, but don't quote me on this, but I would say that we actually supply more what we call white stations than most other players. In fact, I think we are the biggest supplier to the white stations. These are the small, independent mom and pops. And they source their fuel from different parts, diba? From different suppliers. And I would say we are the biggest supplier in that area. So you could also count those as perhaps like retail stations of SEAOIL, but they're not branded as SEAOIL. In terms of expansion, we have very aggressive plans now that we have also the strategic partnership with Caltex Australia. So in the next 3 years, we expect to have almost 700 stations.
Follow-up, geographically, your concentration, I don't see right now you have strong force within Metro Manila or down south. Would that 2 years or 3 years down the road, would you say you'll be stronger in Davao or in Cebu or in Metro Manila? What's your strategy to make yourselves more visible in terms of locations?
The expansion is actually spread out. Even our stations at the moment, if you notice, like in Metro Manila, siguro konti lang nakikita yung SEAOIL stations because we're pretty much spread out. But there are certain cities in the provinces where we have greater concentration of stations. But in terms of expansion, where there is an opportunity, I mean, ngayon kasi, it's like parang karera siya talaga eh. You have all the other companies expanding. So agawan ng properties, di ba? So where we find properties, definitely, I mean, good properties, then definitely we will open stations there. And not only that, hindi lang naman yung mga gas stations yung mga kalaban natin, no? Properties, I mean, even the restaurants, I mean, like, of course, Jollibee, McDonald's, all of these players are actively looking for properties, prime properties, so ang dami nating kalaban in terms of securing properties.
Maybe we can take this opportunity that if you could refer us a lot, and then we're actually open for a long-term lease. So kung may lupa kayo along EDSA, and then sa mga idle na ninyo na pwede, just contact us please. Kasi we're really Yeah, there is.
Just fair, di ba?
Yeah.
Or bigyan namin ngayon 100 entries to the lifetime reward.
My final question would be, you have the VIP club. Compared to the other gas stations that have this card also, what partnerships would you form in the coming months or years? You know, like maybe tie up with the SM or Rustas or whatever. You have those vision also for rebates and point system.
Yes, I think in terms of the VIP club, our reward system is quite unique. We're the only ones who, in fact, give cash. You can exchange your points for cash. So as you accumulate, diba, every 100 peso worth purchase, you get 1 point, and that point is equivalent to 1 peso. And you can exchange that for cash. That's the only reward program that I know that you can exchange for cash. On your question about partnerships, definitely we're actively, at the moment, we're already actively looking for partners in terms of the loyalty program, because we know for a fact that being part of a network of companies, of course non-competitive companies, it brings more customers to us and we bring more customers to them. So it's a win-win situation. So yes, we continue to look for partnerships. There are a lot of opportunities because especially now na marami nang nag-introduce ng mga e-wallets which have loyalty components tied into it. You have big conglomerates running their own programs that are, you know, accepted in many different establishments. So ang daming opportunities for those partnerships. And we'll announce, you know, once we finalize the partnership.
A question.
Sorry.
Christian Bennett at BigPage.com. It's been shown in the slides that truly SEAOIL has been innovating for the past 40 years. And it's been a while since you've innovated with STP additives. So with ever-tightening constraints on emission, on greenhouse gases, is there something in the pipeline that we can expect from SEAOIL in terms of innovating fuel?
On fuel, I think across the industry, the past few years, innovation has come few and far between. So, but I mean, given that we import our fuel, we have access to more advanced technology in first world countries, diba? So as those progress, we're sort of reliant also on what's happening globally. But as those progress, we will definitely be the first adopters. And it's great. Anything to add on that?